Please be seated. And welcome, everyone. It is pure joy to see all of you guys here today. It's just wonderful. Thank you. Welcome to the long-delayed, in-person, three-dimensional, and richly deserved celebration of the class of 2020. We are all so happy that you will finally have your opportunity to participate in the time-honored ritual of walking across the stage in this iconic spot on the campus we love. There are 463 graduates in the class of 2020, of which fully 2/3 are here this morning. Good. Along with your parents, families, friends who have traveled back to Bates this weekend to share in this wonderful celebration. Families, we know that you too have waited a long time for this moment, and we so appreciate those of you who are able to be here. Thank you. Before we begin, I would like to ask that we take a moment to remember two of your classmates, Adam Doan and Tori Santo Pelletier, who have passed away since your graduation in 2020. Adam's parents and brother are with us here today, and I would ask that we observe a moment of silence to honor the memories of Adam and Tori Santo. Thank you. As I was thinking about seeing you guys today, class of 2020, I cast my mind back to that second week in March 2020 when the chain of events that has led us to this moment began in earnest. By Monday of that week, colleges and universities across the country began sending students home, and our NESCAC peers followed suit day by day as we went through the week. On Wednesday, March 11th, the World Health Organization officially declared COVID-19 to be a global pandemic. The next day, Broadway shut down, the NBA canceled its season, and the Smithsonian announced that it would be closing to the public. We held our announcement till Friday of that week, the 13th as it happened, to make sure that we were ready to assist students with the sudden need to make travel plans and secure housing if they were unable to return home. I pulled out the communications I wrote so authoritatively that first week, and I was struck by how little any of us knew or understood at the time. For example, in a paragraph from my initial announcement that we would have to send students home, this announcement was addressed specifically to seniors, class of 2020. I acknowledged how brutally disappointing this turn of events was for your class, missing senior weeks, thesis binding, short term, all of the rituals that you wait for your 4 years. And then I went on to say, rather brightly, please know that we are explicitly deferring any decisions regarding commencement at this point. I very much hope that it will be possible by the end of May to welcome you and your families back to celebrate your accomplishments and receive your diplomas in person. Well, we all know that didn't happen, but I am so pleased that we can be here today to make good on our promise. So if you'll bear with me just a few minutes longer, I would like to offer a few thoughts appropriate to the unique experience of your class and the unique ceremony with which we mark that experience today. Part 1, opposite day. When my kids were little, they loved to play opposite day. They would hug me and say, "Mom, we love you to smithereens." I would thank them profusely and be so touched. And then they would shriek with laughter and say it was opposite day, so they didn't really love me. By the way, I'm pretty sure they did. In any event, even though today's gathering will faithfully feature the key elements of the classic graduation ceremony, it feels a little bit like opposite day, commencement edition. In the normal course of things, commencement is a day of joy and pride, as it is today, but also a day of poignancy, when you say goodbye to the dailiness of life with your closest friends of the past 4 years, many of whom will turn out to be some of the best friends you'll have in life. This graduation celebration, by contrast, is more reunion than leave-taking. It is a time of coming back together, not being torn apart. Rather than the mixed emotions I remember from my own college commencement, I hope that all of you in the class of 2020 are feeling the sweetness of seeing old friends and familiar faces in a place you went through so much together. Also, in a typical commencement, you would likely be excited, but also maybe a little nervous, if not terrified, to think about leaving college, to nail down a job, find an apartment, and figure out how adults make friends when they don't live across the hall from cool people and eat in commons. As you sit here today, however, you have already been out there in the world, making your way as best one can in these still pandemic-ish times. You may have missed senior week, but you return this weekend with stories to tell, lessons to share, and loves and losses to catch each other up on. In short, you are most definitely not the same people you would have been had you gathered in the same caps and gowns you're now wearing on May 31st, 2020. Which brings me to part 2, the decade of the 20s. And I realize it's the decade of the 2020s, but it's also your decade of the 20s, and that's what I'm talking about. Okay. These past 2 years, you've been out there working or going to more school, living with your family some of the time, perhaps, or on your own, by yourself or with friends, meeting new people and learning some things you didn't learn in college. Like, why hasn't the world figured out that we need commons more when we're working all day and don't have time to grocery shop or prepare healthy meals? But I digress. Coming to graduation after you've been out of college for a few years is a little like going to class when you've actually done the reading. It's not it's not that you've figured everything out. It's that your questions are much sharper and more real, and you have some structure to hang the answers on. So my lesson today is about your 20s, and I'm here to tell you that the 20s are a formless decade whose messiness you should embrace. Why should you embrace this formless and often frustrating period of young adult life? Because you are, in fact, young, and you have lots of time ahead of you. So you can try new things. You should try new things in your work, with your friends, and what you do for fun and what you learn. If they don't go so well, you will have learned a lot, for one thing, and there's plenty of time for do-overs, for another. The years of your 20s even come with a handy reboot button. If the jobs you have when you're out of college aren't doing it for you, that may be true for some of you sitting there, you can decide to go back to grad school or med school or law school after all, or simply change to a different job. But if you go back to school, all of those jobs you barely tolerated make you stand out as an interesting and adventurous person on your application. So if you're here today feeling like you don't know exactly where you're headed, don't worry. Embrace the freedom you have to keep trying things. My guess is that once you found your footing after your really tragically abrupt departure from Bates in early 2020, and once COVID calmed down a bit, many of you have been exhilarated to venture off-road behind the wheel of your own life. I remember feeling so free for the first time in my mid-20s when I was working at a regular job that was nothing amazing, but the sweet part was that it did not involve homework hanging over my head every night. That was a beautiful aspect of the 20s. But I also felt moments of profound doubt, uncertainty, and loneliness because it was hard to know where I was going from here, which is why I called the decade of the 20s formless. Here's the deal. The impressive narratives that you see in the lives of the adults you admire, Shonda Rhimes, Dr. Fauci, or one of your favorite Bates professors, they emerge only in retrospect. Somehow, each one of these accomplished individuals has gotten from 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 and so on, and whatever the twists and turns of their lives, they, by definition, have arrived at the spot where we see them today. No matter how much of a mess they were in their 20s or how squiggly the path they may have taken to get there, more often than not, the storyline we now see looking backwards seems powerfully coherent, compelling, sometimes even inevitable. The problem with living your own life, however, is that you don't know what it looks from the front end. It has no shape. Your path is not carved out. As Joseph Campbell, scholar of comparative religion and myth, famously quipped, if the path before you is clear, you're probably on someone else's. When faced with the murkiness of the path ahead of you, the challenge is to keep yourself from panicking and grabbing onto some job, some schooling, something, just to give yourself a snappy answer at Thanksgiving when your uncle asks what you're doing with your BA from Bates these days. Trust me, you do not want to settle for premature clarity at the expense of genuine fulfillment, which is different for every person and can take a long time to find. For what it's worth, when I got out of college, I went to school in 2 entirely different fields, religious studies and law. I worked in 3 unrelated jobs, and I did not even start down the path that has led me here until I was fully 38 years old. I'm not sure I would recommend that length of wandering in the wilderness, but you get the point. Which brings me to part 3, a plausible next step. And this is the last part, I promise. We've all heard the Chinese proverb, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Most of you guys are a fair number of steps into your journeys by now, but it still begs the question. At any given point, if the path before you is not clear, how do you make authentic choices about what to do next? Here I would suggest that it's easier if you do not focus on the big question, what should I do with my life, which can be downright paralyzing, but rather on a simpler question. Is this thing I'm considering doing a plausible next step for me? It can be tricky to figure this one out. If I'm about to make a choice and it feels uncomfortable, is it because it's not a good choice for me? Or is it because it's a choice that feels difficult because it is difficult or involves more risk than I am typically comfortable with? Put more simply, at any given point, do I not have the guts to do the right but difficult thing? Or do I not have the wit to see that the thing I'm fixated on doing is actually a bad decision for me? There's no easy way out of this dilemma. But you can take comfort in the fact that building a life has less to do with the specific path you carve out for yourself than with the spirit in which you undertake the journey. Each step you take is a step you will learn from. You will learn practical skills like how to generate Excel spreadsheets, how to deal with difficult people and ill-defined assignments, how to cope with not being valued or even seen in an enterprise. You may learn as well that whatever you're doing at any given moment is the farthest thing from what you want to do with your life. But if you approach the work you choose with focus and diligence and self-awareness, you will advance along a path, and it will be authentically yours, not because of the specific choices you've made, but because of the way you are making your choices and processing the experiences. German poet Rainer Maria Rilke puts it elegantly. He seems to put everything elegantly. The point is to live the questions now. Perhaps you will then gradually, without noticing it, live along some distant day to the answer. Last week, the class of 2022 had its commencement. And our speaker was Dr. Nirav Shah, director of the Maine Centers for Disease Control, and a wonderfully wise and humane leader for our state throughout COVID. He gave an amazing and very funny commencement speech in which he referenced those who fought in World War II and were later dubbed the greatest generation. Dr. Shah stressed that they are known as the greatest generation, not for who they were, but what they overcame. He went on to say this, speaking to the class of 2022, but of course it applies fully as well to you. Dr. Shah said, "I don't know what your generation will be called, but one thing is clear. The world has handed you more than your share." Some of you may know my favorite quote from the poet E.E. Cummings, "It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are." Judging from my own life and what you guys have been through already, you will never stop needing this courage, and the world will never stop needing you. Congratulations to the amazing class of 2020, and thank you so much for being here. It is now my pleasure to welcome Alexandria Onuoha, selected to give the graduate address.
I appreciate all the love. Thank you. Faculty, staff, family, and the brilliant members of the class of 2020, I'm deeply honored to speak to you today. 2 years ago, we obtained our degrees at a time where there was so much uncertainty with society, both socially and politically. Despite this, we remain committed to celebrating our moment of success at home. We were tagging each other on Instagram, posting our pictures online, wearing our caps and gowns outside of our homes. It wasn't anywhere close to how this moment feels for me right now. My mother, who was the center of my speech the last time, she is here with us. And may I remind you, she is still telling me to stay strong and act like you got some sense. I knew that there was going to be a time where we would be provided with the opportunity to see one another again in different circumstances, and here we are. I can tell you that after 2 years, I appreciate Bates more than I thought I did. I want to take you back to the deepest intellectual moments of my Bates journey that has shaped these past 2 years. At Bates, Dr. Leslie Hill and Dr. Sue Houchins introduced me to Black feminist thinkers, specifically Bell Hooks and Toni Morrison. During my doctoral program, the first 2 years, I wasn't sure if I was right where I needed to be. My spirit encouraged me to come back to the writings of Bell Hooks, especially during feelings of stress and isolation. In her essay titled Home Places, Bell Hooks describes a home place as a site where one can rest, find hope, and be in community with others. She extends these ideas by highlighting the things that create the home place. This can be a loved one or an actual place in which one finds safety and comfort. Bell Hooks writes, "In our young minds, houses belong to women where their special domain, not as property, but as places where all that truly mattered in life took place. The warmth and comfort of shelter, the feedings of our bodies, the nurturing of our souls. There we learn dignity, integrity of being there. We learn to have faith. The folks who made this life possible, who were our primary guides and teachers, were Black women." Post-Bates, I wondered where my home place would be. What will things look like for me? Where will I find success? What if I fail? I leaned into the people right next to me who were going to help me take me to that next level for myself. As a Bates student, some of our home places were being in the academic resource commons when we were supposed to be doing work, but that being the place where we laughed and caught up, or the Office of Intercultural Education being the place where we affirmed our identities and came out much stronger about who we are. For me, what was true was the spaces that were not on campus that I had to create for myself with the support of faculty and staff, which is a skill that is helping me right now and has after graduating. I built my home place after Bates and did so with confidence because of my Bates education and experience. As my friends would say, I took things up a few notches and started building and using my home place. I completed 2 years of my doctoral program and obtained my Master's of Science in Applied Developmental Psychology. I have been featured in the Boston Globe and quoted in Teen Vogue, to name a few. I accomplished this by building my home place of people that love and support me, such as Black women faculty I was able to locate at my current school, my mother, my partner, Dr. Amy Douglas, Dr. Sue Langdon, and others. All these individuals helped me through this process by speaking affirmations to me. I reinvented my business and used it to support the positive development of my communities through the arts by centering young girls of color. My Bates community significantly contributed to the fundraising of these social justice-focused community projects. As I was building my home place after Bates, I realized that Bates was still very much a part of it. When we graduated, I think many of us, including myself, had an idea that this is a fresh new chapter, which it is, but when you graduate Bates, you also take Bates with you because the students at Bates, many of you are my home place. Home places are fluid. People come in and out. People who are a part of our home places physically are still here with us in spirit. We don't forget those that were so integral in finding who we are. Tori Santo Pelletier, Adam Doan were integral in our Bates home place. They offered their insights, their skills, and contributed to our Bates home place. We recognize and honor them in this moment. Bell Hooks ends with this in her essay. With this foundation, we can regain lost perspective, give life new meaning. We can make home place that space where we return to renewal and self-recovery, where we can heal our wounds and become whole. So Batesies, we are here and we have returned. We must tap into the people next to us who give us this comfort in order to take us to new heights in our lives. Home places do that for us. This will look different for all of us. For me, as a Black woman, I know it's important that Black women are in my home place as they push me to new heights. Within this place, there are also phrases that keep things in perspective. In my last dialogue with you all, I mentioned J. Cole's words, and I must do it again at this moment. Love Yours, a song by hip-hop artist J. Cole, truly talks about finding happiness from within and those around you. He says, "No such thing as a life that is better than yours." He never mentions home place, but I want to connect these ideas together for you. All of us are at different stages in our lives, and there's no such thing as a life that is better than yours, because you each have home places to tap into. Love the people around you and build connections across. Sometimes your success isn't above you, but it's those around you that will help you maximize your full potential. Some of you already know what you want, which is great, but many of us are still trying to figure out what comes next. It's scary not knowing where you will end up, but enjoy the process because you will end up exactly where you need to be. Take a leap of faith. If it's the film you want to write, that business you want to start, that job you want to apply for, lean into your home place. Why not you? Life after Bates as we know it can be difficult. Life happens and it challenges us, it molds us. So as I say, to close, build your home, love yours, and take it up a few notches. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alex. Class of 2020, your moment has arrived. I will now ask the Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of the Faculty, Malcolm Hill, to commence the ritual calling of the names. Please prepare for your walk across the stage.
President Spencer, I have the honor to present to you at long last the Bates Class of 2020. Will the members of the Class of 2020 please come forward? Adam Walter Doan, in memoriam. Tori Santo Pelletier, in memoriam. Today, since you are sitting with friends as part of the celebration instead of the traditional alphabetical order, I thank you for your help in writing your names clearly on the card that I'll read as you cross the stage. Okay. Alexandria Onuoha. Jennifer Glass. Robin Moss. Catherine Leake. Megan Clark. Claire McKay. Samuel Kent Onion. Jacob Lemoyne. Madison Listro. Nora Finley. Megan Dietels. Signe Lynch. Grace Warder. Grace Elrod. Analea Ango. Thank you. Anthony Arion Harrison. Anthony. Elijah McLean. Sarah Moradi. Nicholas Hill. Jaylene Perez. Michael Hogue. Thank you. Justice Pruitt. Wilkie Joseph. Hema Ruby. Anais Gonzalez. Thank you. Colleen Hoyt. Catherine Ennis. Ryan Lizanek. Jonathan Farrell. Sarah Delaney. James McDonald. Robert Strain. Otis Klingbeau. Ryan Brudney. Allison Brodner. Amin Majbri. Tristan Kane. Hazel Simpson. Sarah Dardis. Martha Raburi. Sharice Olsa. Maya Shabrobat. Claire Diaplank. Allison Rohane. Anas Reda. Senyo Ohini. Helen Emerson Daigle. Emily Guller Erard Stone. Matthew James Charest. James Bullock. Monica Olivia Sears. Shin Judy Wang. Jia Young Portia Chen. Yihao Young. Chuchong Shak. Julianne Williamson. Antonio Heredia Soto. Justin Levine. Chris Beerworth. Benjamin Sikist. He gave me the thumbs up. That was good. David Maffley Kipp. Julian Cook. Charlotte Carlson. Madeline Fagundo. Gianna Pipitone. Nicholas Meyerson. David Sparks. Owen Linfeldar. Tyler Fuller. John Mulligan. Max Ryan. Thanks, Max. Nicholas Holmes. Zachary Farm. Mihao Shvik. William Nelligan. Nicholas Eaton. Liz Johnson. You good job. Emily Wheeler. Hannah Carlson Fitz. Grace Elizabeth Stoll Smith. Alexandra Salazar. Grace Purinton. Michael Cooper. Gordon Hargraves. Jock Choi. Jared Reber. Thanks, Jared. Leon Goldfarb. You can keep going. Abby Dechter. Austin Sansone. Xander Rolfe. Garon Rothenberg. Matthew Anglis. Eleanor Shields. Abel Ramirez. Logan Douglas. Casey Joe Anderson. Nina Flores. Maylee Alanya. Nolwenn Robinson. Christopher Rene Castañeda. Nathan. Brooke Jondro. Sophie Sogard. Jesus Carrera. Sydney Anderson. Ariel Abanizio. I know. Oriana Los Cicero. That's probably a better way. Emma Blair Hall. Jesse Sapphire. Joshua S. Andino. Maya Wilson. Julia Treadwell. Ann Lindholm. Ava Galino. Eden Rico. Lily Meyer. Caroline Kerrigan. Avery McMullen. Katie DeSantis. Adina Burnott. Catherine Crossan. Matthew Lastava. Curtis Napton. RJ Sarka. Frank Spitz. Syria Ilongo Ramamse, Semi. Maggie O'Shea. Bryce O'Brien. Jesse Tollerman. Joshua Turner. Forrest Hamilton. Leo Watson. Larson Schuster. Tommy Atwater. James Henry Stewart. Alice Pingen. Connor Aram Regan. Michael Williams. Andreas Vatakis. Rohan Wilson Jr. Adam Gardner. William Green. Christopher Simard. Peter Griffin. Tristan Van Ruden. Patrick Beaton. Nolan Collins. John Lindgren. Cameron Carlson. William Slane. Ryan Morey-Leho. Miles Michaud. William Sylvia. Ufis El Kimpolo Penene. Koyabi Mamam Mbid. Amanda Bria. Doris Etienne. Catherine Cabral. Samantha Alexander. Alcanza Kaudiwi. Ursula Rawl. Isabel Nat. Giona DePinto. Almira Akyatan. Michaela Bowen. Annie Sadoric. Olivia Sanford. Isabel Paulus. Olivia Harwood. Charlotte Alberts. Julie Hinton. Isabel Rovinsky. Mackenzie Kelly. Riley Turcotte. Hannah Johnson. Amy Duran. Olivia LaMarche. Laura Jerry. Maya Sation. Paige Robb. Molly Friedman. Isabel Oliver. Elizabeth Ottenstein. Kaylin Abuzaid. Emmett Polgren. Lily Patterson. Abigail Frost. Daniela Pascucci. Julia Gutterman. Allison Green. Alexander Schmidt. Michael Hartnett. Gabrielle Nelson. Ann Trapp. Christine Carroll. Sukanya Shukla. Gabriel Benson. Jack McLarnon. Ethan Hewlett. Salvador Sandoval. Sandoval. Julia Panapinto. Samantha Schechter. Gabriel Estache. Isa Garcia Moreno. Grace Fitzgerald. Victoria McGee. Abigail Ford. Alexandra Leahy. Madison Murphy. Timothy Lyle Kaplowitz. Benny Magnuson McGomish. Leo Crossman. Drew Collins. Patrick Crowley. William J. Holland. Walker Cooney. Sean Paul Clark. Sophie Gary. Eliana Madwed. Elizabeth Wellington. Elizabeth Shea Guider. Thank you, Clerk. Josh Hurwitz. Andrew Berg. Max Gardner. Madeline Shapiro. Christina Perrone. Matthew Peter Golden. Zachary Doyon. John O'Brien. Philip Simplicio. Connor Sarasi. Matthew Flanagan. George Chasen Lapine. Matthew Starr. Vid Yadav. Jacob Eisenberg. Jeffrey Kale. Jacob Capilla. Philip Wu. Zachary Bernstein. Jack Faline. Julian Lewin. Alexander Hall. K.I. Bjork. William Longhoff. Oh my gosh. Samuel Crookshank. Thank you. Mark Russell Jr. Go ahead. Mahmood Yusri. Mitchell Wilsey. Graham Bonnell. Jason Liu. Jason Kennedy. Thank you. Lilianne Chang. That was encouraging. Claire Ruhlman. Jack Monahan. Josephine Blanchon. Ella Westerfeld. Aaron O'Farrell. Madison Hallowell. Zoe Chamberlain. Stephen Friend. Nicholas Jones. Lydia Sullivan. Sophie Norton. Anna Glass. William Weeks. Sarah Allen. Carly Geller. Pippin Evarts. Rebecca Kraft. Isabel Pearson Kramer. Alanson Brinkhouse. Christopher Nove. Holland Doyle. Casey Snow. Ashley Pratt. Megan Seymour. Alexis Hughes. Ian Rashley McNally. Thomas Coyne. Nicholas Gilpin. Jeffrey Seamus Spellman. All right, let's hope for it. Cody John Greenhouch. And Nicholas James Beati.
Congratulations, class of 2020. There's just a little bit more. We got to make it official. So I would ask the members of the graduating class to stand. Okay? Whoa. Oh. This is the moment when we ask the marshals to direct the graduates to move their tassels from, wait just a second, from right to left, thereby signifying the receipt of their degrees. Technically, you have been entitled to wear your tassels on the left all this time since you left here, and we conferred degrees 2 years ago. In all of those tassel-heavy events I know you probably attend. But lest there be any doubt as to your official status as Bates graduates, would you please move your tassel from right to left? Yay. You may be seated.
Bates College, class of 2020, on behalf of my fellow alumni in the audience, on the platform, and across the world, I am honored to congratulate you on this momentous accomplishment and formally welcome you into the Bates College Alumni Association. "21 years ago, I sat where you are today. Although our respective Bates journeys looked a bit different. You are a resilient class that was handed a unique set of circumstances, but I hope that your time here was as memorable and transformative as mine. Spending a little too long lingering in commons with friends, engaging in conversations with professors on the latest study topic, and filling our schedules with countless activities and causes on campus became part of daily life. Although your time at Bates, as a Bates student is behind you, you will be an alum for the rest of your life. As you now maneuver your way through the twists and turns of what's next, you will be faced with challenges, successes, choices, and opportunities. But no matter where life takes you, you will forever be part of an accomplished and dynamic community of over 24,000 Bobcats strong, who are embodying our motto of ardor and devotion all over the world and will forever be part of your extended family. I encourage you to stay connected and stay engaged. Actively seek out other alums when possible and connect with those that reach out to you. And always know that wherever you are, there's a Bobcat waiting to hold the door for you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jen. Following the benediction, I ask graduates to remain seated and in place until the platform party and faculty have recessed. The faculty will greet you as you recess. We ask members of the audience to remain in place until the recession is concluded. Following the recession, please join us for an outdoor lunch in front of Commons with seating in the Bardwell Field tent.
Please join me in a final word of blessing in whatever manner is most comfortable for you. Holy One, Sacred Many, we begin, as always, with gratitude for the rekindling of friendship, for a moment to celebrate work well done after a pilgrimage of waiting, for the remembering of what was good and lasting about your experience of this place. Our hearts are grateful. What a strange thing to offer a closing blessing, a benediction on something that has already begun. 2 years ago, you left this quad, some in an anxious hurry, some with a deep longing to stay, into a world that was uncertain. Your life beyond Bates began in a way that was unlike any other class that has ever commenced. So instead of a benediction, a blessing of an ending, I offer you a traveler's blessing for your constant and continued journey. Class of 2020, may you discover in yourselves the strength and resilience of the humble bee. You've flown out from this place, fluttering into the blossom of your life. Or perhaps you are still in search of a soft petal where you might land, only to come back here and share sweetness with one another. Amidst your flight into the world, You have come to protect what is yours and discovered what you need to thrive in community. You have found purpose and meaning in working together and learned how to build and rebuild as often as life demands. May there be constant, gentle winds under your earnest and glittering wings. May you grow in community and connection wherever you go. May you always find each other to share joy in the honeyed moments of life. And may you know Bates as a home, a hive you can always return to for restoration and reconnection in all the days to come. Blessings on your journey today and every day. May it be so. Amen. Congratulations, class of 2020.